A lot of people fall or drift away from basketball. What do you think has kept basketball as a part of your life? As a father, as a 30-year-old, like why is basketball still important to you?
Yeah. Well, I think it's a couple of things. I criticize the play-in and all these new gimmicks, but they kind of keep me intrigued, right? There's more high stakes basketball that's occurring, and I think that you've got things like load management, player empowerment era, a lot of things that have really ailed us the last 10 years, the 20 teens, I'd say, all the way till I think the players we have now aren't as much minded like that as LeBron, Kawhi, that era, right? But the league has done a pretty good job with the play-in and even the NBA Cup, which I don't think you put much weight into winning it, but it is high intensity basketball in December. I think a lot of it too is just when it happens. So NBA playoffs start in April. It seems like that's when things kind of reopen. Even though Houston, we don't have harsh winters at all, but that's when people start, going out more. You're not going to have a random 40-degree day. It's from there on pretty much 70s until you get to the finals, and you're in the triple digits. But kind of when it's happening. So there's more sunlight outside. There's games in the first round from 3 p.m. until midnight, just about, and I can just turn the TV on, and there's a lot of basketball players that are watching, caring, playing hard. I think also having a son that really likes the three major sports, whatever's on sports wise is what he's going to be watching and paying attention to. We'll have a basketball game on. He's like, Dad, I'm sorry, I got to play basketball now. And then he'll just start shooting his little tykes basketball goal in the living room. It drives my wife crazy because the ball's bouncing off the shutters and everything. But the way it brings people together from a social standpoint, it still has a lot of that. And I don't watch the regular season nearly as much as I used to. But just casual conversation with friends, like, man, did you see this team? They're on a hot streak. They won 6 in a row. Are they real deal? Nah, they're pretenders. The back and forth, the conversation, the debate that it creates, that's still there. The off season is probably as much of the drama and intrigue of the sports than the actual product. Who's moving around, what teams are getting who's getting who, trade machine, all that kind of stuff. I'd say the people moving around is part of it. The product, still competitive basketball. It's still relevant to family and friends, so it's a big topic of conversation. And it's still a sport that I can like and play of the major three pretty much indefinitely. Football, you can't really, I'd say you probably need 10 people to play 5-on-5, and then once you hit a certain age, you're probably not playing football anymore. Same with baseball. I mean, maybe they got like your senior softball leagues, but again, you need 18 minimum to play
Yeah.
softball. And if you're that age, you're going to need 20 minimum to have an extra outfielder. So the fact you can keep playing basketball into your 60s. I remember one of our high school PE coaches or middle school PE coaches was in his 60s, and he's still out there wetting from three, staying sharp out there. The fact that you can keep playing it well into an advanced age is awesome. I think the other part of it too is from a live sports event. I think I prefer the basketball environment more than any other. Football, I love it, but I prefer to watch it on TV, hear the commentary, flip around if other games are going on, get up, go grab a drink from the fridge without spending $12 at a stadium, and then football games are just exhausting. I go to the game and it's, you're in everything, just kind of sucks energy out of you. Baseball, I love it, but it's more of a social event. I might not even tune in till the 7th inning of a baseball game in person. Basketball, I'm locked in. And the way arenas are built now, even if you're high up, you're still close relatively to the action. So you could be in the nosebleeds and there's still a pulse there. So long-winded answer, again, very on brand for me. The fact that the live in-person experience still reigns supreme of the three major sports. The fact that you could play it into advanced age. It's kind of a timeless sport. It's also multicultural, probably more than any other sport I can think of. It's a global sport. So you've got a lot of different people from different backgrounds. This conversation right now that we're having, I'm sure if you have with 10 people, it's going to be so all over the place. And that's kind of the enriching part of it.